How do you get from this ugly blob to this beautiful flower? This is Amaryllis Belladonna, also known as a naked lady lily. Watch this video and I'll teach you how to care for them. These beauties are Amaryllis Belladonna. They are the bomb.com for fun in your garden. Just look at all this great color. I love how they pop up in the late summer. So many other things in your garden are dying this time of the year, or they're past their prime. These are not past their prime. These are so wonderful for the California garden. They need zero watering. Deer don't like them, and they really need no care. Like many perennials, the Amaryllis Belladonna grows from a bulb. This is the bulb. It is really big, as opposed to a daffodil bulb. Both of these plants in the springtime will send up big, bright, strappy leaves. In the springtime, the daffodil will also send up its flower. Amaryllis Belladonna, the strappy leaves will die, but don't worry, you'll get these flowers in the late summer. Amaryllis Belladonna is called the naked lady because you'll see there are no leaves here. In essence, the plant is naked. Amaryllis Belladonna is the lazy gardener's friend. This stand of them literally gets no attention. This is last year's dead flowers. This is this spring's dead foliage. And here you see we've got flowers in August. When Amaryllis Belladonna blooms in late summer, a purple stem will start to emerge from the bulb. This will quickly shoot up to about 2 feet tall and become these beautiful large pink blooms. After the flower dies is when you want to divide your amaryllis bulbs. That will usually be around September. These are flowers that are past their prime, but not yet quite ready to divide. But you can see it's starting to wither, they're starting to fall down, they're shriveling. You could also collect seeds at this point, but it takes about 10 years to get a flower from a seed. Now we are in November, and the amaryllis flowers have died, but this is a good time to start the dividing. There are amaryllis in numerous places in my garden. We're going to thin this batch here, both because they are crowded and because we're at the right time in the plant's life cycle. As you can see, the flower is dead, it's gone to the seed stage, and there's not yet any sign of green, so we're not yet into next year's growth cycle. A way that these bulbs are not like other bulbs is both that you want to leave them with their neck sticking up out of the ground, and it's usually not recommended to overwinter them. You want to dig them up and then replant them within just a couple of weeks. To divide amaryllis, you just need a couple of simple everyday tools. You need something to cut with, you're going to need a rake, and you need something to dig with. I like this tool because it doesn't bring up as much dirt as a shovel, so it's not as much weight, and that works better for me. But you can use a shovel if you like. And also, I always recommend gloves. The first thing to do is to get in and remove all of the ground cover and mulch that are around the amaryllis. So then I'm going to use my hands and get in here really close and take off the dead foliage. And you can see how little work these plants are. I've never taken off the foliage on this cluster, and it continues to grow and to flower. By doing this with my hands, I avoid damaging the bulbs. As you can see, these bulbs are really close together. They should be about 8 inches apart, which is more than the size of my hand. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 spots of growth here. Very crowded. We're going to cut the spent flowers off of the bulbs. You're going to go down the stem about as low as you can go and nip it off nice and clean. Heavy clay soils. Voila. Remember, the reason we're doing this is so we can get more amaryllis bulbs. They're going to bloom better, and we'll also be able to have some others to put in our yard. I'm going to lift this out. You can see all of our roots are here. I'm pulling the soil away as gently as I can. Now I'm going to pull one out. So this one's really big, and I can see a couple of stems coming off the top. I'm going to see if I can't peel off some layers, and maybe there's more bulbs here than I realize. Oh yeah, sure enough. And I just got to wiggle them apart, roots on both. In general, you want to dig these up before they start having the green growth, because this is the growth for the coming season. But I needed to divide these, and I didn't realize that there was a little bit of green here already until we got all that mulch and dead growth cleared away. So he's got roots and he's got a sprout, and of course I'll replant him and just see if we get lucky. Here's another one we're going to divide. Again, it's kind of like just doing onions in the kitchen. You're just going to peeling off some layers. That might have been a little too far. This is very white. Let's see, there's 2 stems here. Let's see the 2 stems. So I'm pretty confident there's 2 bulbs in here. And here comes 2. So we've dug up our amaryllis. We've divided them, the ones that were so large, and now I have more than twice as many bulbs as I had when we first dug them out. Now I'm going to stick these bulbs right back in the same hole. Again, I want 8 inches of space, so bigger than the span of my hands. And I'm only going to put 3 here. That'll give them a few years to keep growing and dividing before they come crowded again and I have to take them out. You could amend the soil with my heavy clays. It might be smart because it would be easier to dig them up in a few years when they need to be divided again. But I'm just going to stick them right back in here. I just want to get the hole a little deeper so I have some room to arrange the roots and spread them out a bit. I probably could have used the hole how it was. I also, because I want to spread my plants out, I just want a little more space. Now I'm going to plant the amaryllis bulbs back in this same hole. I'm going to pick one of our newly separated bulbs. I'm going to stick it here in the soil that I have not amended, and I'm going to plant it as they were when we found it, with its neck sticking out of the ground. So where we had that big thick cluster, I'm just going to put 3 back in the hole. These are probably closer than they should be, but I'm frankly too lazy to dig the hole any bigger. All right, I've got 3 amaryllis bulbs planted, unamended soil, same spot I took them out of. They're sticking up out of the soil, as you can see. Hopefully that shows up well. I'm going to give them some water to make sure that the soil is snug up against them, and then I'll just wait and see what happens in the spring. Thank you for watching. We are the Master Gardeners of San Luis Obispo County. If you look in the comments box below this video, you'll see how you can reach us, and we can help you with your local gardening questions.